Okay, we just arrived at the Indian King Burial Ground. Completely unknown to humanity until now. I'm going to back up completely. Nick, if you could go stand right in the middle there to just give everybody an eye view of how large this is. That's it. That's massive. I would say 20 feet across. Every bit. As you can see right here, the foundation is built upon quartz, and let me say, lots of it. Just quartz, 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 foundation, foundation. Every bit of this, as you can see here, we have two different kinds of metal, if you want to point that out right there. This is, God only knows. This is whatever the kind of rock this stone is made out of, this cap rock. This is quartz. All of these are about human sized to whereas a human could carry them and place them. As we can see here, there's a lip completely carved. As we all know, nature rarely makes completely perfect circles, but you can see it is carved in. And he's digging this out right now just for you to see. That's good enough, really. It's carved back through here, and it's perfect. And it goes up each side.
And there's also another one that has been slid up behind both of them.
Yeah, so this was probably placed there before. And we don't know. These rocks, both rocks, the cracks, they look as if they fit together perfectly at one point in time. But I cannot attest to that. But they do look as if a puzzle piece. You see how they would have fit together. I believe the weight on either side has broken it in the middle because the ground underneath is not packed enough or strong enough to hold them, which suggests that humans were here digging and making the ground weaker by whatever they were doing. Now, I'm going to back up roughly 15 feet from it.
Have you seen this?
One moment. About 15 feet from it, and this is where the rock foundation starts. The rock foundation goes roughly, where this sits on, roughly about through here, around, and it goes around through here, around up through there on the side. Up through the back, there are rocks roughly, and it is a briar patch right through here, but I'll just go right through it with a leather jacket, who cares? The rock, I'm backing up through the back probably 5 feet, and this is where the rock foundation starts on the back. It looks like the entrance to some kind of cave, sealed, or just a burial tomb marked. And in ancient, actually, no one really knows because the United States government has done a very good job at covering up the history and the past of the Native Americans. But
just like how they covered up the history of giants.
Yep. We don't know what era this is from, but it is facing water. There is a creek in the background. At one point, that would have probably been a swamp or some kind. It could have possibly been a river at one point. Who knows? There's a rock face over to, we're right here. There is a sheer ledge rock face roughly right here, where you can actually just sit down. It might be about like right here.
There's two of them. They're both 50 feet, 60 feet apart from each other.
They're both 50 feet or 60 feet apart from each other, is what my brother just said, because you probably can't hear him. And then about a quarter mile that way, along the stream, we found another Indian grave burial site. It's probably about 25 times smaller than this site right here. It's not intricate, it's not carved, it's just a placement stone on top of a pile of rocks. We kick the leaves back and we have a couple minute video of us looking at it. And then I'd like to come over here to this rock right here that looks much like a placement stone of some sort of. It could be another burial site, possibly someone close to whoever was buried in this other one.
Child, maybe.
A child, a wife, possibly. If you want to move, I'm going to kick this tree down real quick, please.
And as you can see, this tree is falling on top of it.
Yeah, there's a tree on top of it. But there's... It seems almost natural. It does seem natural, but the fact that it is right next to this other rock, and there are no other signs of rocks such as this, as high up this hill as we are, there's no other signs of rocks like this. I want to say that this is possibly man-made or placed here. Nick, if you want to come along, I want to show you what I found recently. All right. Okay, I found this on the way down here. I actually, on the way down here is quite a walk, but on the way down here, I was actually ahead of my brother, and basically, I was walking down the hill about right here, and I started to see a path of quartz, just marker stones leading to this rock right here. So let's go and find these right here. I kicked the leaves out from around them just so I'd be able to find them again. And it is actually a path of quartz leading up and through this hill, almost like it's leading you to this rock. Now, I haven't found any through this land right here where we're walking, but I'd say it's about 300 yards until we get to the quartz. And it's actually, you'll see it is actually a path. What's up? Obviously, there's a fence right here, man-made. Whoever came across this in the past did not know what they were onto. Stupid, I know. Or they just didn't care, which I don't see why not. All right, we're here. So as I started to descend down this hill, I noticed pieces of quartz, large pieces, just randomized, not actually randomized. You'll see right here, let me kick this back a little bit more. Just a couple pieces of quartz, extremely out of place. There are no quartz in this land at all. There is, but it's rare. So, just quartz right here. Quartz right here, just out of nowhere. And then we go up the hill a little bit more, probably 30 feet. And at the top is where I found it. We go up 30 feet. Here's another large rock. Strategically placed. May have been here before the tree, but it is here nonetheless. Has not been moved in a very long time. And it goes down a little bit. That's not just a surface rock. That's actually in the ground quite a bit. Now, as you can see, there are other rocks around it. As you'll see up here, such suggests an Indian tile. There are other small pieces of quartz around it, and then a large piece on top. Right here we have two right next to each other in succession. A bunch of small quartz pieces around it, and then a large piece on top. Now there are more quartz under here. We filled them in our feet. As you can see right here, that is quartz. This is a rock pile, and it continues to go up this hill. There's one or two more. We're going to go and document these as well. And it is a straight path. We have come up this hill in a straight path. It is directly leading down this hill. Here's another one. Here's another large stone with a bunch of smaller ones around it and underneath it. This is the first one I came across right here. Now this didn't sketch me out, but the fact that I read up a lot on Indian history, and I know that quartz around this area. Stop moving your legs, please. Stop moving your legs, please. The quartz around this area actually signifies in a grave that Oh, I see some more over there. We'll go check that out in a second. Actually signifies wisdom when placed on top of a grave. The fact that we've been finding these rocks like right next to trees suggests that there's a lot of nutrition under the ground. These trees, I'd say, I don't know, I'm gonna get this really good. Somebody might be able to tell me the age of this tree.
Older than dirt.
Older than dirt. So at some point, an acorn landed here and was like, wow, this is some fertile ass ground. Let's do it. So, and that's often suggestory to like grave sites and everything because there is a decomposing body underneath. So it's fertile ground. And that's what caught my attention, is just a random quartz which should not be here right next to a tree. Now we're gonna go over here. I actually do not know if these are quartz, but it looks like it. They look white. There's a lot of fallen trees around. Yeah, they seem to be quartz. There's actually a few, my brother says. I'm trying to get through a massive briar patch right here. Yeah, there's here's a pile. We're gonna try to scrape the leaves back as well as we can without killing ourselves with briars. And I'll speak once we finish. Now, these, I actually for sure know these could just be a rock piling of colonial territory. You know, people wanted farms, whatever. They have farms in their fields, and there's a field up here. They could have pushed these down here. That's completely possible. But the placement of those rocks over there, okay, the placement of those rocks over there is actually in a specific pattern. One large quartz on top of a pile of smaller ones. Right here we see just a lot of small ones, a lot of quartz. They're not small. They're actually about mid-sized. And then there's one right here as well. He's found some more underneath this fallen tree, and that seems to be a factor here. They are right next to trees that have grown up. And like I said, that often happens with graves. So, you come over here, and this might give us, actually, there's quartz right here. As you can see, the natural rock, I'm gonna get some natural rock here. Yes, actually there's this turned up tree, so we can actually see. Yeah, scrape that back if you will. It's completely covered by soil, but there's another quartz right over there. Now these could be randomized in this area. I'm getting that feeling right here, but we'll continue to search, and we'll get back to you guys later. Whoever watches this, if you actually care, if you actually have a brain, or if you actually care about history, or if you're just too busy partying and getting drunk and getting high, who cares? Maybe this might change somebody's opinion on prehistory and actually give them some insight onto the learning. So
hopefully we can post it to Infowars.com.
Infowars.com.
And see what Alex Jones thinks about all this.
Infowars.com. The cover-up of American prehistory. Don't know what else to say. See y'all.